Hello and welcome to the gallery. My name is Jon and today we are painting a Space Marine. Whoop-pa! Now I am a heretic at best. I love chaos and that's my jam. But Space Marines have been around for quite a long time, so why not try my hand at one of them run-of-the-mills Imperial Fist type guys? Let's just see how it goes out, and I have no idea what I'm in for, but hopefully it'll be fun. Now, I've never painted a Space Marine in my life, so let's go big or go home. I'm using this McFarlane Toys Space Marine type thing. It's a Hellblaster, and it has a lot of mold lines and stuff like that, so we have to scrape a lot of stuff up. I'm using both hard files and soft nail files. Then we're just airbrushing the damn thing white. White paint mixed with white ink, and goes on smoothly and quickly. And it's a simple enough process. Most of the stuff is going to be done by airbrush, so if you don't have one, well, tough titties. There's nothing I can do about that, but you can use a brush and get a similar result. Also, white, now undercoating it with hot pink, and it's gonna look bizarre, to say the least. It's gonna look bizarre. And after all the hot pinky shade type thing is done, we're gonna hit it with yellow, or orangey yellow, and the pink turns more orangey, more reddish. And I wish I could say I had this idea, but it's been going around online. Sorry to interrupt, but you know all those small buttons down at the bottom of the screen? Why don't you try pressing some of them, that like, share, subscribe, bell icon type thing? Let's see how it feels. Go on. Give it a little bit of a push. Who knows, you might like it. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now we're going to continue using methods that I've not been using before. So we're trying oil washes now. This is just a black and umber oil paint mixed with a little bit of mineral spirits. Mix that up real nice. And then we're going to just resaciate the entire damn Space Marine. It's going to go on spotty because this is a first try with this. But I'm fairly confident it's easy enough to clean up via methods I've seen many people been using. So we're just plopping that into all the recesses and everywhere we think it might be applicable. And then cleaning it up again with the mineral spirit, just on a small damp brush or sponge or tissue or whatever you have close at hand, and you can just clean it off really quickly. It's a fairly easy enough process and it looks kind of really cool. I will definitely be using this for bigger models and especially tacky models in the future. And of course, a little bit of edge highlighting. It's a Space Marine, and apparently it's a law you have to put edge highlighting on Space Marines. That's my estimate, at least. It's a simple thing, just small bit of yellow right on the edges, and that's it. Nothing too fancy. I'm not a fan of fancy. We're doing it rough and we're doing it ready. And of course, it has a trim, and me being a heretic at best, I am not doing a regular kind of Imperial Fist. I'm going for black trim. That's probably some sort of thing. I think it's the 5th or something like that. They have black trims, but we're also changing it up a little bit because we're doing a black helmet and black Aquila and everything, because I'm not a fan of the red thing on orange. It looks kind of nyeh to me. So let's make it more black, make it stark contrast with all the yellowy goodness. And of course 2 layers of black because it doesn't cover that much, this Corvus black that I'm using. I'm more fan of that than a blacks. There's a little bit of grey to it. I like it. And then a little bit of edge highlighting because it's the law. Also a little bit of edge highlighting on the Aquila, because otherwise it's just a black blob in the middle of the model, and that's not a good look, I can tell you that. And you can clean it off quickly with the thumb if it goes a little bit overboard. A little bit of extra white here and there. It looks rough, but it'll fade a little bit. It's very watered down, so it won't be as white as it looks looking over there. And also we're going to add a little bit of more to the scratches on the gun casing, just to give it a little bit of more definition. Otherwise it's just a blob of black in the middle of it, and it's boring. And like you say, see, I made a black helmet, putting a little bit of white into the eye lenses. And then I'm going to start by using a little bit of white here in the plasma coil, and we'll be coloring that up with some bright colors. It'll look nice, I promise. Or hope, or promise, or both. And then gray for a line on the helmet, because we're making a sergeant, but not with a red helmet, with a black helmet, because not a fan of the red helmety things, especially on a yellow model. So a little bit of gray, and then go over it with white, because it'll cover a little bit better. And let's try to keep this out of focus so you can't see the horrible brushstrokes. And you can see here in the plasma coils, I'm using these candy inks from Green Stuff World. They're vibrant and really, really fun. So plopping a little bit of the bluey, greeny, tealy candy ink into the plasma coil there, and then we're going to fade it out into the black and add a little bit of white later on. Also the same candy ink for the eye lenses to tie it all together. That's my estimate at least. So let's go for that. Why not? And a little bit of black on top just to give it a little bit of fade effect. I mean, it looks rough, but when it's on the model, it looks okay. And then afterwards we have to clean a little bit around the plasma coil, because you see it's gone a little bit overboard. But that's not too big of a worry. Now let's lose our minds and try some freehanding of symbols that I've never done before. So, the Imperial fist symbol on one shoulder pad, and the other symbol, which I can't remember what it's called, on the other one. And we're gonna put a 3 in there, because third company, why not? I have no idea. I would say I don't care, but I kinda care, but not that much. We'll see how it goes. And put a little bit of gray to make an outline, and then black to fill in the fist, and then we're gonna clear it up and clean it all, everything up with white. Because the lines are not great. I mean, I do draw, I do paint two-dimensional paintings and stuff like that, but doing a two-dimensional painting with thick paint on a curved surface is quite different than doing it with a pen and a paper. And then let's put a 3 down there and make it a little bit fatter than it needs to be, because we're going to clean it up with a little bit of black to make the lines a little bit more straight. And of course it has a little bit of metal things. I'm not doing N&M for this thing. We're going just full metal, and then heavily using the oil washes, a black oil wash over everything. And then we're gonna clean it up a little bit with the same method as before. A little bit of mineral spirits in a sponge, and just go over the edges and over the sharper corners, just to make it stand out a little bit. But we are going for a dirty metal feel. This guy has obviously been busy shooting Tyranids or trying to kill Chaos Space Marines, but of course not succeeding, because Chaos is best. It's not my opinion, just fact. Might not be a fact on the tabletop, but it's fact. And he is in the dirt, so we're putting more of a browny umber oil wash type thing on his legs and up his knees, and well, over most of him actually. He's been in the mud fighting all day, and we're not stroking that away with a sponge. We're just dabbing away with it while it's still wet with a damp paper towel. And then of course a little bit of pigment powder. I've never used this before as well, so I went a little bit overboard with it, but hey, it's fun, it's dirty. And we're putting that all over his legs and on the base and everything, tying it all together, and it's dirty and grimy and gritty and fun. And there we have him, an Imperial Fist Hellblaster. Now, I've never painted a proper Space Marine before, but you know what, this was kind of fun. And so, since I painted a big one, I had to make the same one, just smaller. And the smaller one took a really short time to paint, so this could be a good way to make a big effing army of them. Thank you very much for joining me here today. There are links in the description for all kinds of stuff, social media, Patreon, all kinds of stuff. You do with it what you will. Like, share, and subscribe it on an oath of moment. But until next time, farewell.